luring glimpse of sparkling water. But there was nothing to be seen. Still, the way in which the train lost speed told her they were near her final destination. The woman opposite to her, in her 50s with a basket on her knees, nodded at her with a friendly smile. "You here, are you?" "Yes, I come from London. I'm going to work on Cornisea Island. Can I see it from here?" The woman shook her head. "The village is on a hill. You can't see the sea or the island from the train track in the station. Where are you going to work? I think I saw they were advertising for someone at the bakery." "No, I'm going to catalogue books at the castle." "With Lord Bolingbroke?" The woman leaned forward, her arms on the basket, her voice lowering into a confidential tone. "He doesn't like outsiders, does he?" Recognising the small-town willingness to share a little tidbit that had pervaded her childhood in Devon and was so remarkably absent in the big city bustle of London, Guinevere couldn't help a smile coming up. With an inquisitive mind of her own and a never-ending interest in what motivated people, she could never resist a snippet of gossip here or there. Still, her new position as Lord Bolingbroke's employee required a tactful reply, so she said cheerfully, "Well, he advertised for someone to help him catalogue his books, so I'm sure he's aware that I'm coming." The theatre's director, Mr. Betts, had told her about the position available at Cornisea Castle. He had said it was the perfect place for her to spend the summer, as it had history and the island was full of fascinating stories about the past. Secret treasure, local lore. The excitement that had grabbed her as soon as she had heard about it rushed through her again. She hadn't had time to dig deeply into Cornisea's colourful history, but the summaries she had read about it had unrolled a tableau vivant full of saints, knights and squires, ladies and maids, a tale of siege, love, deception, heartbreak. As if Dolly noticed her excitement, she squeaked. The short, high-pitched sound was the dachshund's favourite way to express her enthusiasm. She held her long nose close to the window as if she also wanted to catch a glimpse of their new home. Guinevere scratched her behind the ears. "Almost there, girl. Just a few more minutes." The woman opposite them said, "Some people think it's silly to talk to dogs. Well, I think it's silly not to talk to dogs. Had them for all of my life. Retrievers first, when I was still living on the farm my parents had. Now I live in the village in a smaller house. Took in a cocker spaniel when an elderly neighbour moved away. Couldn't take her along. The sweetest little thing. Is by my bedside in the morning the moment I wake up. Keeps me company while I garden. She's with my sister today. She doesn't like trains, you know." Guinevere smiled. "Dolly likes everything. She's quite the adventurer, aren't you, girl?" Dolly squeaked again and rubbed her head against Guinevere. Her bright little eyes took in everything that moved outside the window. The clouds against the skies, the specks of birds, a yellow tractor on the fields. The train was slowing down even more, swaying, and soon they stopped altogether. The woman with the basket helped Guinevere to lift her heavy suitcase from the train onto the platform. "Is someone coming to get you?" she asked with a worried frown. "No, but I can manage. Thank you for your help, and have a lovely day. Say hello to your cocker spaniel from me and Dolly." The woman smiled at her and walked away, calling out to a woman at a flower stand just outside the station. It only had 2 platforms and an old-fashioned building with vintage motifs of golden fleur-de-lis over the entry doors. Guinevere took a deep breath. The air carried the typical tinge of salt that always betrays the sea as nearby. But there was also the smell of paper and coffee. She spotted a window where hot beverages were sold. She also saw cans of soft drink in a cool box and newspapers. A turnable rack held leaflets on regional sites and activities. On a blue one, Guinevere read, "Medieval reenactment at Cornisea Castle." Underneath were a few lines of explanation that the Cornisea Historical Society was to recreate the trial of Brannock the Cold-Hearted, the steward of Cornisea Castle, who had been accused of vile acts against the villagers under his care. Based on medieval sources, the play gives a true-to-life representation of the trial, the parties involved, and medieval justice, against the breathtaking backdrop of the centuries-old castle and its rugged environment, she read to Dolly. What perfect timing! Her theatrical...